The following is a Samsung production.
It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Lesante, and thank you for joining us here on the Sam Lesante Show. Folks, this show is about three things: living smarter, better, and longer. Now, I know you all want to do that. Now, I would like for you to do one thing. Call your friends, call your relatives, and make sure they watch this particular Sam Lesante Show, because, folks, we're going to talk about things like arthritis, heart disease, high blood pressure, strokes, dementia, all of the problems that exist in your body. We're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about how we can help you with those problems. My guest today is none other than the most famous doctor probably in the world, according to me. His name is Dr. Michael Gross. I just gave you a promotion, my friend. Okay?
I appreciate it, Sam.
He is the Chief Medical Officer, folks, for LifeGuard Health, and we're going to talk about omega-3s. You know, you all know about fish oil, okay? We're going to be talking about non-contaminated fish oil, but I mentioned some things, cardiovascular disease, your energy. How many of you get up in the morning like I did? Little aches and pains, it's hard to get started. Well, folks, I've been using this stuff, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that a little later in the show. Dr. Gross, for those viewers who did not see the first show we did with you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Again, I'll start the same way, Sam, as I did before, and that is first and foremost, I am a healer, and all the credentials that I've gained in my life as a medical school professor, a department chairman, in academic and clinical medicine, women's health, for a great number of years, over 25 years, and I am a lifetime fellow of the American College of OBGYN. But it helped me get to this present part of my career, which is the way that medicine is evolving, and that is towards wellness and prevention. And I consider myself, first and foremost, now a wellness and prevention specialist. And we now, in that regard, think of nutritional therapies at the same level as we think of our pharmaceutical approaches, of our surgical approaches. We're trying to think of less invasive and more holistic ways now of helping people. We have an aging population, and that old rule of an ounce of prevention being better than a pound of cure, that's what we're talking about today.
Well, the miracle, I call it a miracle because I know what this has done for me, and we've, I've been involved with this for a number of months now. The miracle to me is that the omega-3 fish oil, okay, and I said non-contaminated, does so much for the body. Now, it is my understanding, most problems that we have as Americans, or any human being has, is when inflammation occurs in your body. Your cholesterol goes up, you get diabetes, you get heart problems, you have rheumatoid arthritis. A lot of things start developing in your system, and I only mentioned a few. Women, menstrual cramps, premenstrual syndrome, the PMS, all of these particular problems women have, men have, and all different. Now, it all stems from the internal stuff, because I'm a lay person here, okay? I don't know the medical terms, so bear with me. I have to talk the very common terms. This is what happens when we start getting sick, all right? Now, tell me, why does this fish oil, well, I've been using so far, which is working great, thank God, what happens? What does this do to your body?
Sam, first we'd like to describe this as the essence of fish oil. We're talking about omega-3 essential fatty acids, and these are nature's natural anti-inflammatory molecules. Unfortunately, in the last 30 or 40 years, these essential oils, essential fats, I like calling them the fats of life, have been processed out of our diets, out of our foods. We eat grain-fed cattle. We cook with vegetable oils. We have so many other things in our diets which have an overabundance of saturated fat. All of these things trigger inflammation in our bodies. So we're walking around in America, all of us with some degree of chronic inflammation, and another situation I like to call omeganemia, which is a chronic deficiency of these omega-3 essential fatty acids. As a result, these diseases that you mentioned, which are all triggered by chronic inflammation, we're talking about high cholesterol, we're talking about high blood pressure, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, strokes, heart attacks, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, the rheumatoid conditions, lupus, and so forth. Even things as basic as aches and pains, arthritis, not sleeping well, how you feel every day about your life, the elevation of your mood. All of these things are part of why we all need a certain amount of omega-3 essential fatty acids on a daily basis.
All right, I'm going to talk to the viewers for just 1 second, folks. I want to give you a few websites that you can go to and get a lot more information on what the good doctors talk about. Now, their website is LifeGuardForLife.com. That's LifeGuardForLife.com. That is their website. Our website is ssptv.com. Now, for you people who would like to Google us or Yahoo us, just go to Google and go to LifeGuard Health, and you'll be able to watch the video. Or go to Yahoo and do the same thing, LifeGuard for Health, the video, and you'll be able to watch this at any time you want to, this particular show. When you're talking about the omega-3s, there's a lot of history. People, are talking about, taking the pills, and I know you've seen it. I take so many vitamins in a day, it's pathetic. I take a multivitamin. I take a vitamin C, 1,500 grams. I take a beta. I take a B12. I take a magnesium. I take a calcium pill. What else do I take? I take a flaxseed oil pill. That's like it's in my head that I have to take all these stuff because my bones to be stronger, et cetera, et cetera. At lunch today, you said, Sammy, Americans, millions of Americans are stuffing themselves with all of these supplements and vitamins to the billions of dollars a year, and I said I find it hard to believe that. You mean to tell me if I take this, we're going to talk about the triple play, and it's going to help me out? Tell me why.
Sam, it's been said that Americans have the most expensive urine in the planet, and it's because we've gotten into this habit of supplements, and it's redundant. There is really no good evidence to support the type of supplementation that you're talking about with all the extra C, vitamin E, and so forth. We need to get these things from our diet. They need to be surrounded by a food matrix, and Americans get plenty of these things in their diets. Now, I certainly would support taking a multivitamin on a daily basis. It's a good insurance policy. But other than that, we get almost everything we need from our diets, and these other vitamins and supplements that you mentioned are just redundant. What we do not get from our diets are these essential fatty acids, these omega-3s. We only find them in fish, and because the fish nowadays are so contaminated, we now believe that supplementation in this regard is healthier than eating the fish. So along with your multivitamin, these omega-3s will complement the other things in your diet and put you into what we call omega balance. We have inflammation in our bodies. We need anti-inflammation to counteract these things, to prevent the diseases that I mentioned earlier, and that's what these omega-3s are all about.
All right, now what I'm going to do for you, though, folks, is this. I'm going to tell you what happened to me, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to have some pharmacies, no matter where you're watching this, you can see the pharmacy scrolling, but these are only some of the many, many hundreds of pharmacies that will be that carry this product. However, the 800 numbers up there as well. You can call them and they'll give you information. But I had aches and pains in the morning and suffered not that it was critical, but not feeling as well as I should be feeling. Okay, once I got going, I'm going on fire. But when you told me to start taking, and you told me to take 3 of the omegas in the morning, and then the 2 and 1, and after a meal, and I took them in the morning, I took them in the evening, and it was about a matter of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, okay. And I said to my wife, I said, Deb, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mind over matter, but I'm getting up more. I'm hitting that ground. I'm running. I notice I don't have as many aches and pains. And you said, Sammy, that's exactly what has been happening. So I guess I know that this has been working great for me. Okay, now God knows about my cholesterol. I haven't had that done in 6 months, which I'm going to take. And my blood pressure. My blood pressure at night was 106/70. Maybe in a day it hits a 125/80. Okay, 130 if I'm really excited, or But I've seen that go down as well. Now you're on the radio in a lot of parts throughout the United States, and you've been on for a number of months. Tell me about some of the stories you hear, and they're true. These are people calling you on the radio saying, "Doctor, give me some for examples." And folks, as he's talking, let me stroll some of the pharmacies. And remember, if you go to your local pharmacy and they don't have the product, I would ask you to tell them to get LifeGuard health products, and the phone numbers on the screen. Tell me some about those testimonials.
Sam, I would like to start from the highest altitude and let the folks out there watching know that right now are over 1 million people on this planet that are 100 years old or greater and have no disease. So the notion of aging and how we age, and the fact that people believe it involves aches and pains and losing your marbles and having high blood pressure and high cholesterol, it doesn't have to happen. What we see as a common denominator in this group of people, which we call the super old, is that they are in omega balance. And that's what's happening to you, Sam. It takes a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. It's not a drug. These are dietary supplements. We're replacing what's missing from your diet. A drug works quickly and it's gone. These build up in your body gradually. They push out the bad omega-6s, put things back in balance, and as a result, those pain-relieving effects that you mentioned, that extra energy and endurance that you mentioned, the fact that you feel like you're thinking better and performing better, that's because the inflammation in your brain is being reduced. Your eyesight will improve. Folks who have a problem with concentration and attention deficit disorder, not only in adults but in children, all of these things are a result of omeganemia, the lack of omega balance.
Now, the fascinating thing that fascinates me, Doctor, is that this particular product, okay, that you have, taking these omega-3s, why now? Why didn't people know about this? We're such an educated society. Like someone said to me 10, 15 years ago or 30 years ago, "Sammy, start taking this." God knows what I would have been. I would have been ripping through everything because of my energy level, okay? I know that we don't have a immediate cure if a person has a diabetes, and we're going to show a clip of an interview we did with Judah Champion of diabetes, and she's just elated what's happened, but also in different areas. Why now? Why all of a sudden you come up with something like this in bingo?
Well, Sam, in science, that there is an axiom that all things being equal, the simplest solution is often the correct one. And whenever someone asks me a question like you just did, I love hearkening back to the epidemic of the 18th century, which involved bleeding disorders, failure to heal well, hair loss, skin rashes, irritability, insomnia, multiple sclerosis-like symptoms. And it took a couple of clever doctors in England to figure out that these were not separate illnesses, that this was one group of symptoms under one heading, which is scurvy. People will remember that word from their history classes and so forth. By giving the Brits, especially the sailors, limes, Britannia ruled the waves for 200 years. Somehow in America in the 21st century, we've created another epidemic, which I call omeganemia, America's undiagnosed epidemic. We have processed these essential fatty acids out of our food, out of our diets, and all of these chronic illnesses, which certainly create the need for a lot of drugs. If we treat them one symptom at a time, one disease at a time, we could get rid of a whole array of these problems by just replacing the natural elements in your body that are provided by these omega-3s.
And tell me your story about what happened to you and what you have, and when you start using the product, what happened in your life.
First of all, I have type 1 diabetes. I've had it for more than 20 years, and that has, although I'm very healthy, I take very good care of myself, the diabetes has compromised many of my systems. It's a degenerative disease, and as a result, over the years, I have had increased blood pressure. increased cholesterol, and over the years, generally, I'm achy in the morning, just like you are. And it was time for me to do something about it. I had been on blood pressure medication for a long time. And when my cholesterol rose, my cardiologist wanted to put me on a pharmaceutical, Lipitor, and I refused. And I decided to find a natural way to help my systems. So I looked for an omega-3 fatty acid. I found LifeGuard. I researched them all. LifeGuard was the purest that I could find. And I started taking it. I started taking the Omega Flex Triple Play. And the first thing that happened to me, within 2 weeks, I required less insulin because my cells were working better. As Dr. Gross spoke about earlier, it improves the way every cell in your body functions. So my cells were absorbing insulin much better, and so I required less insulin, which was a wonderful thing. My blood pressure, which I have tried for 10 years to regulate with blood pressure medication, came down to a normal level. And my cholesterol, which was rising quite high, dropped by 60 points.
Now, there's a girl who is living smarter, better, and longer, folks. The 888 number is on your screen, and it's toll-free. The pharmacies that you can get this product is being scrolled across, but I want to talk about the actual product. Now, the product itself, okay, this is the fish oil, the omega-3. I'm smelling this, and I will tell you, if you want to do a test, you could get the standard fish oil, which most of them are contaminated, I would think. This is non-contaminated fish oil, but when you smell this, it's fantastic. It's like perfume, okay? Now, I am excited about a couple things. You have me on what they call, Doctor, the triple play, okay? And, of course, triple play means 3. Okay, now, tell me why why is the triple play so important for those viewers?
If we listen to Judith's story, which is such a compelling story, here's a person who had diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, that array of diseases which so often occur together. So our first goal is to reduce the inflammation in our bodies, and we do that with all of our omega products, and we can tailor it for the specific condition that the person has. So when we talk about our Omega Flex product, that's an anti-arthritic and anything to do with the inflammation of the joints and so forth. Our Omega Mind for depression, for Alzheimer's, for cognition, and the cardio product for prevention and covers everything. But along with that are the needs for cholesterol management, because so many of these chronic inflammatory conditions involve high cholesterol. So the omegas are especially good in dealing with triglycerides. It's absolutely excellent in that regard, but we also have to talk about the other 2 components of the cholesterol profile, and that's the LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, and the HDL, which is the good cholesterol that we want to get as high as possible. Our LDL product is red yeast rice with CoQ10. Coenzyme Q10 is a necessary additive, necessary supplement that should always be included in cholesterol management. We put it right in our product so people don't have to go out and buy an extra supplement, and that controls the LDL component of the cholesterol, along with our no-flush niacin, that's the HDL boost. And when we combine an omega with red yeast rice and CoQ10 and no-flush niacin, this is the triple play, and this comprehensive approach to cholesterol is better than any prescription statin. It's better than any other therapy out there. Truly an example of the whole being greater than the sum of the parts.
And being on the radio every week, listening to the many hundreds and thousands of viewers that are calling you, telling you about what happened when they start taking this. Now, you know, we have here, folks, this is the Omega Cardio, and the brochure explains it pretty good. The Omega, the Cardio, okay, for you're talking about cardiovascular disease, okay, high cholesterol levels, and this is the product that has a little bit more juice in it, so to speak, as to help you with those areas.
Well, Sam, the cardio, it's sometimes difficult for people to understand that all of the omegas that we have here have the cardiovascular benefit. We're talking about 2 grams of EPA and DHA. Those are the 2 essential omegas, and when we give these things in the required doses, we're talking about 4 to 6 capsules of whatever product. We're going to get our required cardiovascular support requirements. The cardio is a balanced blend, so we can use that for just about everything, and it's also for people who are in the group we might call the worried well, that want to be in prevention mode. The flex and the mind are for people who are already down the road a little bit in terms of their diseases, and we configure our therapies that way. And of course, we add the LDL and HDL if we have a cholesterol component, and begin with any one of those condition-specific omegas.
There's a lot to be said. I mean, you're talking about you're talking about rheumatoid arthritis. A person has inflammation of the bowel. Psoriasis. Women, like we said about PMS, menstrual cramp. I mean, men. It just seems that it covers so many areas in the body. But as you said, as a layperson, and it's making much more sense to me now, Doc, when anything that's inflamed in your body, that's where the problems start happening. Once you can reduce inflammation in your body, things start to subside a little bit, just as Judith had with the diabetes.
Sam, you couldn't have said it better. If we look at, for example, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel disease, in medicine we call this inflammatory bowel disease. And that's why if we give the body what it needs in terms of anti-inflammation, that's why these omega products, which are the most potent, the most absorbable, the condition-specific products that we're talking about, and we attack this in that specific way, we're going to eliminate all of these inflammatory bowel conditions, inflammation of the joints. High cholesterol and high blood pressure is inflammation of the blood vessels. It's all one common theme.
You know, Mike, I call you Mike. I've been doing this show since 1982. I've been blessed to have many, many great guests on this show. My very good friend Jack Palance, you name them. And I always learn something from the people I interview. But prior to you coming on the show, the first show, I personally tried this stuff. And I could see, and I say thank the good Lord, the difference it made in me in 2 weeks, okay? I mean, a tremendous difference. And folks, I could only say this to you. I would never endorse anything that is not worth it. My reputation's worth too much for that. You have an 888 number on the screen, and I'm going to tell you LifeGuardForHealth.com, LifeGuardForHealth.com, or go to our website at ssptv.com, and you'll be able to watch this show. It's the Sam Lesante with Dr. Michael Gross, or you go to Google and hit LifeGuard Health, or go to Yahoo and hit LifeGuard for Health, and you'll be able to watch the show. The triple play is what I recommend you getting, okay? But if you need help, the pharmacies that we have been scrolling can help you. And if the pharmacy in your area does not have this product, I highly suggest you tell them to get the product, and you have the 888 number. It's toll-free for you. I could tell you, doctor, when you're looking at energy and people who are obese, when you're not feeling well, your mood changes. You wake up in the morning, and if you're not feeling well, you don't feel good. But it's like sunshine. When some people see sunshine, they feel great because it makes them feel good. This is the kind of stuff that makes you feel good, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, whatever the case, because you feel good, and that makes you react to things.
Sam, there's actually a name for what you're describing. We call it the joie de vivre effect, the joy of life effect of omegas. You're hitting the nail on the head. When people get into omega balance, they just feel better about everything. Every organ system, every physiologic function of their body is improved. You mentioned energy and endurance, aches and pains. Let's talk about this weight issue and lean muscle mass. If I have better circulation to my muscles, then I'm going to recover faster from exercise. I'm going to build more lean muscle mass when I exercise. And if my muscles are healthier, we're going to burn calories better and shed the pounds.
That's exactly, because you're mobile. It's called Omega-3. It's called LifeGuard for Health. Dr. Michael Gross is the chief medical officer of this company, has a great reputation. You can check him out also on the website. Folks, I can just tell you that this stuff is fantastic. Any problem that you have that is affecting you, this is something that's certainly going to help. It helped me. When we talk about fish oil, and the thing I like about this is as I smell this, I mean, it's I can smell it all day. It's great, It's like, and yet it's been just a tremendous help to me taking 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening or after my meals. Fish oil this is non-contaminated fish, which is great. Okay, there is a major difference between the fish oils that you pick off the shelves versus this particular one.
And I really want to make that point strongly, as you've been doing, Sam. If it doesn't pass the sniff test, it's probably junk.
Fantastic, yeah.
And the stuff that people buy in the discount stores and so forth, and that's really commodity grade. It's what we throw away. You'd have to take 40 or 50 or 60 of those capsules a day to get your daily requirements, where we only need 4 to 6 of ours a day to get it, which makes our product a bargain as well.
You get excited about, the first thing what you said to me when we met is that, Sam, I'm a healer, I'm into wellness. And that's the great thing. Your mission, LifeGuard for Health's mission is to make people feel good, preventative medicine. Don't wait till you get that stroke. Don't wait till you get diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, or whatever the case may be. You take this stuff now, and that's the reason for the show, folks. It's very simple. This is a product that is great. I'm using it. I highly endorse it. The 88 numbers on there, the LifeGuard for Health, LifeGuardForLife.com, the website, our website, SSP TV. Learn as much as you can about it, folks. That 88 number that's up on the screen, they will talk you through a couple things, but the pharmacies that we have been scrolling will help you out tremendously. I feel great. You have had, as I said, every week, hundreds and hundreds of viewers who are calling you back saying, wow, just like Judith with her diabetes, okay? I just think it's a great thing that you guys have done, and I'm happy that I met you. I am pleased that you had the conversation with my wife today because it was just a great, she's a registered nurse, and she is a great supporter of what we're doing here. You're making a lot of people happy, and congratulations to LifeGuard Health for doing that.
Thank you, Sam. It's a pleasure.
Folks, try it. I'm telling you, you'll be calling us up thanking us for giving you this opportunity of learning. Remember, I said you're going to live smarter, you're going to live better, and you know what, folks? We all want to live longer, but we want that quality of life. And that's the important thing, the quality of life. So if you know anybody who has these symptoms or suffering a little bit, tell them to get this product, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. Give it a couple weeks, 3 weeks, you'll see what I'm talking about. You're watching the Sam Lesante Show, and thank you very much.